truly want to be a leader? Raise your hands. Okay, lovely to see that so many of you aspire to be a leader. Now, if I may ask you, what makes someone a leader?
Integrity.
Empathy.
Reliability.
Reliability, empathy,
Being consistent.
being consistent,
Putting others first.
putting others first. Great answer.
Vision.
True, a leader needs to have vision. So
Ability of
every
motivating.
sorry,
Ability to motivate.
ability to motivate and inspire the people who are following him or her. That's lovely. That's exactly what leaders are meant for. And that's what defines their styles as well. If somebody is having a great vision and wants the whole country or the nation to really prosper, that becomes a visionary leader. If somebody is looking out for every single person in his community and in his pack, then that becomes a democratic leader. So there are different leadership styles associated with every single word that you guys are taught today. Looking at the kind of style that I have, as a person, I am very disciplined. I like things in order and very systematic. So naturally, my leadership style is inclined to being a bureaucratic leader. A bureaucratic leader is somebody who puts in rules and regulations. I'm sure most of you are thinking about the 6 attendance rule that I had put forth in the club, and that's basically how they work. In my entire 1 year of presidentship, one thing I really enforced on every single club officer that was along with me was that they had to define every single task that they do in a systematic manner, so that anybody who comes and does it next should know exactly what they need to do, even without somebody guiding them. And that's what I want from my followers or from the people that I am leading. Now, as a bureaucratic leader, that is something that I really look for, and as a person also, I look for compliance. That if I said something, it needs to happen that way. If it doesn't, then of course my leadership style is challenged there and I get triggered. Another simple example of this was recently in More Than Textbook. Lalit asked me what kind of people do we need to hire and how will this entire company run. So it took me just a timeline of 30 minutes to fill this entire board with the role that a person needs to take as well as the tasks that they need to do. And at the end of it, I was also shocked looking at, oh wow, I came up with such a big thing, almost like how a company needs to be formed with a department in public relations, what all are the roles that they need to do, an operational leader who will take care of everything, review everything. And I was like, it didn't require much of my thinking at that moment, because the minute I was on the board writing it, everything just flowed like a river. And that's why this is my dominant leadership style. But there is a problem here. The problem that I stated before, that if you don't comply, my leadership is challenged here. And when that happens, there arises a conflict. And that's why I also realized that there is one more part of me, which is to look after the individual that I am leading. That means I'm ready to bend my rules if I really adore the person who is following me, or if I really trust the person who is following me. An example of that would be, like I said, there was a rule in the club which said that in 6 months you could miss only 6 meetings. And there was Karthik, who hardly attended any meetings, which means in a month he came only once, which was the opposite side of what was expected. And I had a call with him. The intention was, okay, how can I remove this problem out? But when I actually spoke to him, I understood that his needs or his aspirations from Toastmasters is very different from every single individual who is coming here. He's not here to build anything, but only to give his speeches and be better at speaking, because he already has a place his student council where he was a president and he's already leading them. And that's where I mended all the rules for him and I never asked him to leave. We went on a condition that, okay, if you want to attend one meeting or this thing and give a speech, cool, go ahead with it. And that's how this style of leadership is called as altruistic style of leadership. There are, like I said, there are different kinds of leadership every single one of us might be adhered to. But did you know that naturally we are all inclined to constantly be in search of the alpha or the leader? Which means when you meet someone for the first time, if you are the person feeling nervous, anxious to speak to them, then they are the alpha and not you. And if they demonstrate a quality that you really like, you will oblige to anything and everything that they say and willingly, voluntarily take a step back and do the needful. Now, what takes an alpha to be a leader? Above everything that anybody says, it is about putting yourself at risk for the benefit of the crowd. And that's when people will be willing to sacrifice themselves to do anything for you and give you that power, that confidence of being their leader. Because when trouble comes, if you throw your fellow members at the trouble, then you are not the alpha. So it is all about if you are willing to put yourself first and look after the interest of your followers, that makes you a true leader. Thank you.